Jayadvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jayadvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jayadvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Today we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-Lila. Text number 64. No, 65. Advaya Jnana Tattva Vastu Krishnera Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tandra Rupa Advaya Jnana Tattva Vastu Krishnera Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tandra Rupa Advaya Jnana Tattva Vastu Krishnera Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tandra Rupa Advaya Jnana Tattva Vastu Krishnera Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tandra Rupa. Please chant. Ladies, Advaya Jnana Advaya Jnana, knowledge without duality. Tattva Vastu, the absolute truth. Krishnera, of Lord Krishna. Swarupa, own nature. Brahma, Brahman. Atma, Paramatma. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tina, three. Tandra, of Him. Rupa, forms. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna Himself is the one undivided absolute truth, the ultimate reality. He manifests Himself in three features as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Purport. In this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam cited above, what is that verse? Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvame jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. The principal word Bhagavan indicates the personality of Godhead, and Brahman and Paramatma are concomitants deduced from the absolute personality, as a government and its ministers are deductions from the supreme executive head. In other words, the principal truth is exhibited in three different phases. The absolute truth, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, is also known as Brahman and Paramatma, although all these features are identical. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shrita Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Yonta Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prashuptam Sanjivita Klishakti-dhara Svadhamna Anyam Stahasacharna Shravanartvagadivi Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna. So in this chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is establishing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How many of you agree that all of us, we got mercy of Krishna? You have to quote one verse and establish that we all got the mercy of Krishna. We all agree we are the recipients of Krishna's mercy. That's why we are sitting here, right? What is that one verse? Bolo. Huh? This verse is very frequently quoted by Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita. No. Atapite deva padambujadvayam. Anybody knows? Huh? Bolo. Janati tattvam bhagavan mahim, no? Very nice. Where this was quoted? No. Where this was quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita? In what context? Very good. That means you are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gopinath Acharya and Sarvam Bhattacharya, they are having a argument. He is saying, Hare, is young sannyasi so handsome, I think he may fall down. And then he has taken sannyas from a lower category of sampradaya. I will elevate him to higher category of sampradaya. So Gopinath Acharya became very angry. He said, you don't have to elevate him. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then his assistants, they were saying, how do you know that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? There is no incarnation in this age of Kali. Then you do not know. Then he quoted this verse. Atapite deva padambujadvayam prasada kleshanigrahita evahi. Unless one receives a little bit of mercy from Krishna, we cannot understand that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These Vedas are like an ocean. In Christianity, they have only one scripture. It took them to write, I think, 107 years, something like that, to write that book. Bible, like that. And then Quran, there is only one book in Islam, Quran, right? But in Veda, we have 4 Vedas, right? Containing some few thousands of mantras. The Vedas are all mantras, you know. A JEE topper, one who has, or IIM, that CAT exam topper, they have very high IQ. Those guys, if they study 20 years Sanskrit, then only they can actually understand the little bit of meanings of Vedic mantras. It's so difficult, these Vedic mantras, right? Many of these devotees also, many of these pandits, they chant this Om Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha. Go and ask them what is the meaning of this stotra. They will not know. They chant. Very difficult. So that because people cannot understand Vedas, they have written Upanishads. Then in order to make them understand Upanishads, they have written Puranas. Right? Bhagavatam itself consists of 18,000 verses. Right? Then this Vishnu Purana, some 24,000 verses, Padma Purana, some 64,000 verses. So it amounts to some 4 lakh verses, Puranas only. And each Purana says something else, different. Then there is Ramayana, there is Mahabharata. Then there are Upapuranas. Then there are Samhitas. Then there are Dharma Shastras. Sara. Right? And then mostly Karmakanda is discussed. Then Jnanakanda, Bhanu Maharaj says, because devotion service is very confidential, very few verses are only described, composed by Vyasadeva about pure devotion service. Very few verses. They are very confidential. So, Sri Krishna, anybody remembers it? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhum Bande, Yad Balad Anugrahat, Tare Nana Matagraha, Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. Those people who have received the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they can only cross over this ocean of, which is infested with the crocodiles of different philosophies. Right? Different philosophies. And come to conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then many of the scholars and all, they won't accept Lord Chaitanya as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, those who are very, very fortunate, received the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, those who have received the mercy of Lord Krishna, they only understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anybody who accepts that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his 90% feet are in Golok Vrindavan. Just we have to little bit chant that those 10% also will enter. This is, I'm not saying, Prabhupada wrote, like that, 4th chapter Bhagavad-gita. Anybody who accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will go back to Godhead. Right? That is why when Kulinagram devotees, Satyaraj Khan, they asked, they went to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When before going, Mahaprabhu is glorifying all the devotees. Very, very sweet pastime. Everybody must read that chapter. I think Vrindavan, 15th chapter. Yeah, it's a very sweet chapter. Mahaprabhu is glorifying all the devotees. So he was glorifying. Then Satyaraj Khan, he asked some question. Then when Mahaprabhu met him, he said, Satyaraj Khan, your grandfather Gundaraj Khan, he wrote a book, Krishna Vijaya. Right? So Prabhupada writes about that book. Usually all the literatures are in Sanskrit and very Grandic Bhasha. But this book is written in a local language, colloquial language. Even though it is not written according to grammar, proper grammar, it's very well received. Everybody has, in Bengal, everybody has this book, Sri Krishna Vijaya. So in that book, he wrote one sentence. Huh? What did he write? Nandanandan Krishna, More Prananatha. Son of Nanda Maharaj is my life and soul. This one sentence has purchased me. I became indebted to you, Gundaraj Khan. Not only you, him, all his family members. Not only his family members, all the Gramvasis of Kulina Gram. Not only human beings, even the dog also. Dogs also. I will give them Krishna Prema in Kulina Gram. Why? Because he wrote one sentence. What is that sentence? Nandanandan Krishna. Right? We like that. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, right, we all came to know this. Otherwise, we think that Vishnu is God, or everybody is God. I am also God. Right? You are also God. Right? Vivek, there is one Swami who went to Chicago. Right? I see so many gods. Right? I see so many gods. Once Rasaraju gave a lecture. The title is, We Are All Gods. But there is a small apostrophe S. We are all gods. We all belong to God. They say we are all God, but we are all gods. Like that. Other day, last time I gave class, I was mentioning this Aham Mama. Right? Aham Mama. You remember? Aham Mama. Yeah? They are the obstacles, right? For us. Aham. How to overcome Aham Mama? Huh? We are all thinking, I am this, I am this, I am this. Or we are all thinking, it is mine, it is mine, it is mine. And this I and mine have to be replaced by something else. Prabhupada writes, what is actually sannyas? Sannyas means not taking some danda. Sannyas means, Prabhupada writes in 18th chapter Bhagavad-gita, Asakta buddhir sarvatra, jitatmana vigataspruha, naishkramyena param siddhim, sannyasam adhigacchati. So 18th chapter Bhagavad-gita. So in that purport, Prabhupada writes that one who accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is the only enjoyer, and then I am his part and parcel, I must serve him. That is real sannyas. Right? Not that, carrying some danda. Danda it's an arm, chaturvanyam, like that. It is simple. How to replace this I and mine? Right? Prabhupada gave a very simple formula in 6th canto Bhagavatam. Chitraketu Maharaj meets the Lord. Very beautiful chapter, beautiful prayers. I recommend devotees to at least, very difficult prayers, but at least by heart the translations at least. Very beautiful purports. Worth reading at least 10 times. Right? Remember the chapter. Chitraketu meets the Lord. 2 sets of prayers are there. First set, and then again before he meets the Lord, there is one set of prayers. Then after he meets the Lord, another set of prayers. It's full of prayers. In that, this is the beauty of Prabhupada's translations. Even though it is not mentioned in the Bhava translations, Prabhupada writes that These people, they have so many theories. So various philosophers have so many theories. They are all bogus because they are actually promoting self-envy. But Bhagavata Dharma promotes, everybody is saying this is mine and that is mine. I am this and this is mine. But Bhagavata Dharma teaches how to replace I. Please remember this, right? I am Krishna's. I am Krishna's. How to replace mine? Krishna is mine. Well, this is Bhagavad Dharma. I am Krishna's. Huh? Bolo. I am Krishna's. And Krishna's is? Krishna is mine. Aham mama gaya na? Huh? Aham mama gaya. I am an eternal servant of Krishna. And everything belongs to me only because Krishna belongs to me. Whatever मेरा बाप का जो है मेरे को ही मिलेगा ना. हाँ? मेरा बाप का प्रॉपर्टी मुझे ही मिलेगा ना. Right? So, I am Krishna's. Krishna is. So this is the philosophy. Very simple, Prabhupada said. That is why very simple. Our Krishna consciousness philosophy is very simple. Right? What is so complicated? Only 2 sentences. Huh? Prabhupada said, Krishna, you are great, I am very small. That's it. That is our philosophy, Prabhupada. You just come and tell Krishna, you are great, I am small. You are perfect. Right? When you come in front of the deity, what you should ask? Huh? How can I serve you? That's it. Don't have to ask. Just come and ask, my dear Lord, how can I serve you? Like that. So this verse, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattva jnanam adviyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. Very elaborately discussed by the Acharyas. Prabhupada also wrote very long purport. Right? Very simple to understand. Prabhupada said, by giving examples, you cannot establish the truth. But if you know the absolute truth, you can explain very simple words by giving examples. Right? So when you're standing on the railway station, if somebody asks you, what is a train? The train is coming from far. And the light is only seen, headlight. Trains' headlights are very big. So somebody will say, oh, train means light. When the train comes a little bit near, you see the dabbas and all. Oh, what is a train? Oh, it is light, and then the dabbas also are there. When the train comes and stands on the platform, then what is a train? It is light, dabbas, and the people inside the. Like that. When you see the sun, Prabhupada gives, there is sunlight, and there is sun globe, and the sun god himself. Right? So, those people who have not reached perfection completely, they think that absolute truth is some light. Nirakar, Nirguna Brahma. Right? Those people who are more little bit advanced, absolute truth means Paramatma sitting in our heart. Right? But those who are very advanced, those who have got the mercy of the Lord, they will understand that absolute truth is Krishna Bhagavan. Right? That is why in Bhagavad-gita, Prabhupada says, they didn't write Krishna Uvacha, Krishna Uvacha. He wrote Bhagavan Vacha. Right? Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan Vacha. So, Krishna exhibited these wonderful features of how you know somebody can be a Bhagavan. You know, Lord Ramchandra, he didn't have the facility to declare himself as God. If somebody says after reading Ramayana, we cannot say Rama is not Bhagavan, we have to agree because till the time Ravana was killed, he could not proclaim himself as God, right? Atmanam Manusham Manye. I am ordinary man. Dasarath Atmaja. I am the son of Dasarath. Like that he was telling. Right? When Ramchandra, Sita and Lakshman, they were about to go to Sharavanga Muni's ashram. They saw Airavatam outside Sharavanga Muni's ashram. Then Rama understood that Indra came to visit him. Right? Indra came to tell him that come with me, Swargaloka. Right? Sharavanga Muni said, why I will come with you? Stupid or what? Ramchandra is coming. I will go with him. Right? So Ramchandra was waiting outside the ashram. Indra came out. Indra did not wish Ramchandra namaskar. Right? You know why? Huh? He didn't wish him namaskar. You know why? Because Ravanasura's Gudacharis are everywhere. Indra is Devadidev Indra. Devon ka Dev hai wo. If Indra is offering respects to ordinary man Ramchandra, that means he will not offer respect to Indra, Devadidev will not offer respect to a ordinary man. If he offered a respect to ordinary man, that ordinary man must be God. Devadidev का ऊपर है भगवान. That is why Indra did not wish Ramchandra namaskar. When there was a fight, then Nagastra, they bound him, both Ram and Lakshman. And then they invited Garuda. When Ramchandra became conscious, when Garuda wanted to wish him, Garuda, आप कौन हैं? कैसे हैं? आप किस लिए आया है? You can go now. Because he didn't allow him to offer him respects. You know, Garuda. Because he was a Vahana, he's his Vahana only, right? He recognized, he was about to ask, my dear Lord, क्या नाटक है ये सब? आपको अगर नागास्त्र कौन बांध सकता है? Like that. Because he didn't want him to be known as, right? But Krishna is not like that. Right? Krishna is not like that. That is why there is one very famous poet, Bhajankar, Tyagaraja Swami. He wrote, my dear Lord, how did you manage to act like that? You know? Okay, you have constructed a bridge across the ocean. You have killed Ravanasura. They are all okay. But how did you are the all-knowing personality of Godhead. How did you pretend that crying is Sita, very Sita, very Sita? Like an ordinary man, you are crying. Right? You know why he was crying for Sita? He was crying. And then he was embracing the trees. He was embracing the animals. Huh? You know, very Sita, very Sita. You know why? Huh? What is your name? Very nice. One more reason I will tell. Parvati Devi, Sachi Devi comes and, tests him and all. He said, she asked, why are you, like acting like a madman, embracing trees? कौन है, कौन है? वृक्षों को कौन आलिंगन करता है, right? So Rama told Sachi Devi that there is a secret. Just like that, if I go and embrace the trees, actually they think that I am mad. But if I am acting like a madman in separation from Sita, I can embrace, because all these trees are souls who wanted to be liberated. So all of them, they are waiting for liberation. So I embraced all these trees. I was embracing all these animals so that send them back to Godhead. That is why I was embracing. Like that. Anyway. But Krishna has no problem. Very straightforward. Right from the childhood, as soon as he entered the womb. Once Krishna was there, then this Garbha, womb. My dear Lord, every person worth few paisa, any philosopher, first thing he would do is abuse me, Garbha. Hare, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi jatare shayanam. You will enter the womb of a mother. So, मेरे को बदनाम करके रखा है. तो ठीक है, आपके नाम के एक स्तुति बनाएगा. That is why when the demigods come and offer obeisance, offer prayers to Devaki when she was pregnant with Krishna, it is called Garbhastuti. Right? Garbhastuti. So in Garbhastuti, they were, anybody knows which is the most beautiful verse in the entire Bhagavatam? There are 18,000 verses. Very good. Satya, Satyavratam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam. Satyasya yonim, nihitam cha satye. Satyasya satyam, nutasatya netram, satyatmakam tvam, sharanam. 7 times Satya, Satya is there. Very beautiful purport Prabhupada gave. And then there are Acharya's commentaries also, very elaborate. Every word is, explained. This is the epitome, this is Krishna, Satyavratam. Krishna is the absolute truth. Right? Krishna is not God. Krishna is absolute truth. Krishna is absolute truth. Like that. Satyam na ched datar idam nijam bhavet. Vijnanam ajnana vidhavi marjanam. Right? Guna prakashair anumiyate bhavan. Prakashet yascha te gunaha. Idam, there Vishnu Chakravarti says, they were showing the womb of Devaki and said, idam, satyam na chet datar idam nijam bhavet. My dear Lord, unless your transcendental form has appeared, who is beyond the control of 3 modes of nature, people will not be able to understand the difference between matter and transcendence. Only those who understand the transcendental form of the Lord, then only one can understand that you are the controller of 3 modes of nature, controller of the nature, material nature. Otherwise, people will not be able to appreciate your transcendental form. Those who understand that your transcendental form is Vishuddha Sattva, Nijam Sattva, Vishuddha Sattva, they, that Vijnana destroy ignorance. Ajnana vidhavi marjanam. अज्ञान को destroy कर देता है. So all of us, if we accept that Krishna's form is eternal and Krishna's form is Vishuddha Sattva, right? Vishnu Chakravarti says, we will attain love of Krishna. We'll attain love of Krishna. So that is a very important. Otherwise, people think that, Krishna has no form, or avyaktam vyaktimapannam, like that. Because of your qualities are manifested, because of the mercy that we receive in the form of little bit prema, we are able to understand, that you are beyond modes of nature. Your form is transcendental. There is no difference between the body and the soul. And for such devotees, Vijnana will come. And that because of that Vijnana, we can understand that all that Ajnana is destroyed. Then we will get love for Krishna. Love Krishna. So it is so important to understand that Krishna's form is transcendental. So Bhagavan. Right? So many literatures, they are written. There is one guy, Mayavadi. Very famous, he wrote that book. So he says that Krishna's form is, mode of ignorance and all that stuff. Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is insane, he is a madman. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-Lila 5th chapter, Prabhupada wrote elaborate purports, defeating this theory. Sadananda Brahmendra. Sadananda Brahmendra. He is very famous like that. There is one very famous Acharya in Shankar Sampradaya. His name is Madhusudan Saraswati. They say that he went to Navadvip to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but I think by the time Mahaprabhu left, then he learned grammar and everything from some. He is actually, by nature, he is a devotee of Krishna. But somehow he got into association with Mayavadis. So he learnt Mayavad philosophy, Shankaracharya's Advait philosophy. He came to Benares. Then he took initiation from a Mayavadi guru from Shankar Sampradaya. And he wrote a book called Advaita Siddhi. Advaita Siddhi. At that time, there is a competition going on between Madhvacharya Sampradaya people and so one of the that book is so profound that defeated Vaishnava philosophy. It was so perfectly written, Advaita Siddhi. One devotee belonging to Madhvacharya Sampradaya, he came to Benares in the form of a Mayavadi. He took initiation from Madhusudan Saraswati. Then he learnt Advaita Siddhi from him. He went and wrote a book defeating Advaita Siddhi. It was like that. So one day he came to Vrindavan. He was very famous. Even Akbar's daughter, when she became very ill, Akbar got a dream that there is a sadhu on the bank of Ganges. If you meet him, he can cure that incurable disease. So when Akbar was coming down, he met this Madhusudan Saraswati. Then he begged him that, please cure my daughter. So by the time he achieved Siddhi's perfection, perfection. He cured. Then Akbar asked him, "You want uh, anything you want? You let me know." So at that time, they had a rule that these mullahs, maulanas, they are above the law. They are above the law. So they were killing indiscriminately sadhus in Benares. Akbar is no, they keep praising Akbar, but he is equally bad. Yeah, I'll tell you, equally bad. Killed so many Hindus like that. So Madhusudan Saraswati, but these Maulanas, they cannot be tried by the law because they are above the law. So when Madhusudan Saraswati, he went and requested Akbar that, please, stop these killings, bring them under the law. Akbar refused, saying that it's not possible. Then you said you will give me some, benediction or whatever. So in return, then you give me that I will train some sadhus. You make them also above the law. That is why he trained these Naga Babas in killing. Like that, they were, it is like that. Anyway, that was the history. So one day Madhusudan Saraswati came to Vrindavan. One Paramahamsa Vaishnav met him. In general, Prabhupada writes in Bhakti Sam Sindhu that devotees don't like to waste their time arguing with atheists and Mayavadis and all, because they are very busy with their own devotional service. And they are very humble. All of you know the story of Bhakti Sam Sindhu and Vallabhacharya and all that, right? But that Paramahamsa Vaishnav, he asked Madhusudan Saraswati. He recognized, he said, "Are you Madhusudan Saraswati?" He said, "Yeah." When you defeat somebody, some Vaishnava, in argument, do you feel joyful? He said, "Yes." When you get defeated by some Vaishnava in argument, do you feel sad? He said, "Yeah, I feel sad." Then what Advaita Siddhi? You are in duality. अरे बाबा पकड़ लिया. No Advaita Siddhi. Then he said, "What should I do?" Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Anyway, I don't know how to search this. So he came back. He had many disciples. Madhusudan Saraswati, because of practicing meditation, is a very great personality. You know, he attained perfection in so many things. Like other day discussion was going on. Maharaj, somebody asked also how when I'm chanting, my mind is distracted. Right? Somebody asked this question. Right? The answer to that question was Prabhupada gave that answer. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was being humble. He said, "It took me 30 years to steady my mind in chanting." Right? So we should wait, not that simply start chanting and you'll become perfect. Right? Steady the mind like that. So he attained perfection in chanting. Then he got darshan of Lord Krishna, Kishore. Kamaniya Kishora Mugdamurti. Right? There is one beautiful verse. So he wrote a book by name Ananda Mandakini. The poets, the scholars, they say, there is no such book written which glorifies Krishna's beauty so beautifully. Such beautiful poetry. Like that they say, Anandamandaki. Glorifying each and every anga of Krishna so beautifully. That Anandamandakini. I can tell sometime. So his disciples were startled. They are Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadhi, Krishna Dveshi, right? Right? They were all support Lord Shiva. Right? They all worship Lord Shiva. All the Mayavadis, they worship Lord Shiva. Right? If you read 4th canto, 24th chapter, Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva is narrating the beauty of Krishna. Anybody knows that verse? Snigdha Pravruddha Ganashyamam. He was asking, Darshanam, Darshanam no Didrukshanam, Dehi Bhagavatarchaya, Rupam Pritimayam Swanam, Sarvendriya Gunanjanam. He says, my dear Lord, please give me darshan of your most beautiful form. Lord Shiva is asking. Then what is that most beautiful form? Snigdha Pravruddha Ganashyamam, Sarva Saundarya Sangraham, Charvaita Chaturbahu, Sujata Ruchirananam, Padma Palakshasya, Sundarabru Sunasikam, Sudruvam Sukapolasya, Samakarna Vibhushitam, Priti Prahasita Pangam, Alakairu Pashobitam, Lasat Pankaja Kinjalka, Dukulam Rishtakundalam, Lasan Spuran Kirita Valayam, Haranu Puramekalam, Shankachakra Gada Padma, Manimala Uttamaridhimat. This is the beauty of Krishna explained by Lord Shiva is explained. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, all the Mayavadis, they are followers of Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva is glorifying the beauty of Krishna. Sujata Ruchirana. Like that. Anyway. So he's pagal ho gaya Krishna Bhakti mein, Madhusudan Saraswati. Then the disciples asked, Guru Maharaj, kya ho raha hai? Then he said, I was sitting in Vrindavan. There is one beautiful boy, Sham Kishore. He came and stole my heart. Who is a servant of the gopis. I am helpless. He captured my heart. This is narrated by some part. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj in one of his lectures. That verse I have noted down somewhere, I will tell. So like that, Krishna is ultimate truth. Right? Ultimate truth. And then about after Krishna also, Madhura Krishna, Dwarka Krishna and Vrindavan Krishna. Topmost is Asti Swastaruni Karagra Vigalata Kalpa Prashun Plutam Vastu Prastuta Venu Ninada Lahari Nirvana Nirvyakulam Srasta Srasta Nirudya Nivi Vilasad Gopi Sahasravritam Hasta Nasta Natapa Vargam Akilodaram Kishorakriti. This is a second verse of Krishna Karnamrita. Prabhupada writes in Charitamrita. There is no book equal to Krishna Karnamrita. Mahaprabhu blessed that anybody who reads this book, they will get love of Krishna. Right? So beautiful poetry. See? Asti Swasti. First line. Then Vastu Prastuta. Then third line, Shrasta Shrasta. Then fourth line, Astannasta. This is called prasa, rhyme. Asti swastaruni karagra kalpa prashul plutam. In this verse, Asti, Vastu and Kishorakriti, they are the most important words. First is Asti, then Vastu, then Kishorakriti. What is Vastu? Where did you hear Vastu? Bhagavatam? Bolo? Right? Bhagavatam, second chapter, second verse. Bolo? पूरा वर्स आता है? Who knows the second verse? Give the mic.
धर्मो प्रोजित कैतवत्र निर्मत्सराणां
धर्म प्रोजित कैतवत्र परमो
निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तव वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन मूलनम्.
बोलो.
श्रीमद् भागवत.
Who else? Anybody knows?
श्रीमद् भागवत महामुने किं वा परेश्वरे सद्य हृदय अवृष्टे शुश्रुभि तत्क्षणात्.
Very good. Vastu. What is the definition of Vastu? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote a commentary on this chapter. He says, Leela Shukla, after that incident, he was going to Vrindavan. And then he is madly in love. He's just rushing to Vrindavan. Right? Then some people have encountered him. He said, Swamiji, where are you running? Where are you going? Then he explained, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, then Vishnu, then Amsha avatar, this avatar, that avatar. And then finally he composed this verse. He was so much in ecstasy that he was actually he composed all the verses. He says, Madhurim Niha Kanikapi Kapi Kapi. Kamaniya Kishora Mugdha Murti. Kalavenu Kanita Madhura Adrita Ananam. Mamavachi Vijrumbitam Murare. Madhurim Naha Kanikapi Kapi Kapi. I am describing the beauty of Krishna because a particle of the particle of the particle of Krishna's Madhurya is falling on me. That's why I am able to write. Madhurim Neha Kanikapi Kapi Kapi. Kamaniya Kishora Krishna Mugdha Murte is saying. Very beautiful verse. So, he was composing. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that he has, all these verses have two meanings. One is Sadhaka, from Drishti of Sadhaka. Another is Raganika Bhakta. Like that. So, how it is possible? Because he did not actually sit down and compose, I have to write this, I have to write that. It just, Krishna's Madhurya effect, it just came like that. So what is this Vastu? Vastu means, Vastam Vastu, means one who existed before creation, one who exists during creation, one who will exist after the creation, after the annihilation, then one who is changeless. That is Vastu. Vastu Asti. Asti Vastu. Vastu Asti. That Vastu is there. Right? That Vastu is there. So what is that nature of that Vastu? Right? Then Even Ramchandra also is also Vastu. Lakshmingadevi is also Vastu. No. For us, Krishna is the one. So how do you know? Vastu prastuta venu ninada nirvana nirvyakulam. One who is playing flute, then he is not Bala. He is Kishorakriti. He is in the form of Krishna. Kishore Krishna. Asti swastaruni karagra kalpa prasun, plutam. So, what happens when he plays flute? Nirvana nirvyakulam. He becomes stunned. He himself becomes stunned. Right? He himself becomes stunned. And then he becomes very peaceful. Nirvana nirvyakulam. And then what will happen to others? Srasta. First one is Asti swastaruni karagra vigalata kalpa prasun. This sound of the flute is reaching the heavenly planets. Swara. There, these maidens, these apsaras and all, they were plucking the kalpavriksha flowers and taking worship. When they heard the beautiful sound of the flute of Krishna, naturally, from the Swargaloka, all the flowers fell in order to worship Krishna. Another meaning Gopal Bhatta Goswami gives is that actually Swa means Vaikuntha. Because all the Lakshmis, they cannot have direct contact with Krishna when they are actually plucking the Kalpavriksha flowers. When they heard the flute sound of Krishna, all the flowers fell in order to worship Krishna. Right? And then what is happening to the gopis? Shrasta, Nirudya, Nivi, their skirt strings have become loosened. And they were catching hold of their skirts and they were running towards Krishna. Like that, Krishna is surrounded by thousands of gopis who are trying to catch their. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives the meaning. What is Mukunda? One who freed the gopis of their strings of skirts strings and their their designations and their bodies also. That is why he is known as Mukunda. Then such a personality, Hastanasta Karagra, Hastanasta Natapa Vargam, he gives to the hands of his devotees, to his devotees, Apavarga. Apavarga means, regular meaning is, how many of you know what is Apavarga? You know Apavarga? What is Apavarga? Yeah, Pravarga and Apavarga. Right? Prabhupada, you hear Queen Kunti's lectures. Prabhupada explains Papa Vabhama. Huh? You know this? Papa Vabhama? Huh? Huh? Bolo? Papa Vabhama. How many of you know? You know? Bolo? Pa means Parishram. Pa means vain. Ba? Vyartha. Huh? Bhai. And? But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives another meaning. Apavarga means one who gives a blissful body to his devotees. Right? Anyway, beautiful explanation is there. So, I worship that Krishna, Kishorakriti, who is standing in a three-bended form. He is the absolute truth, who is playing flute, and in order to the apsaras are throwing flowers, kalpavriksha flowers from the heavenly planets, or Lakshmis are throwing kalpavriksha flowers for worshipping Krishna from Vaikuntha. And when he plays flute, all the gopis, they rush towards Krishna. And then when Krishna is playing the flute, when he hears the ankle bells of gopis, he becomes nirvana nirvakulam, because he is worried how they are so chaste women and all, how they will come for rasa dance. When Krishna hears the ankle bell sound of gopis, then he becomes nirvana nirvakulam. Like that. So that Krishna we will worship. That Krishna is absolute truth. Right? So, Prabhupada writes in Bhakti-rasam Sindhu, we should research about Krishna. I think Bhakti-rasam Sindhu also Prabhupada writes in 7th canto Bhagavatam. Right? Bolo Nimai Nitai Prabhu, where did he write? Do you know? 7th canto, 5th chapter, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pasevanam. Right? Everybody should read the purport of Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Once in a month, you should read that purport. We'll become enthused. Because that is our heart, right? Shravanam Kirtanam, that is our process. Shravanam Kirtanam, Navaveda Bhakti. So Prabhupada so elaborately wrote all the items, each and every item. So in this Smaranam, Prabhupada writes, one should do research of the form of the Lord. One should concentrate, one should meditate on the form. There are Smriti, Dhruvana Smriti, like that, 5 kinds of Smarana Prabhupada writes. So we must do research on Krishna's form. Right? And then adore him. Then we will say, we don't want any other form. We don't want to worship any other form other than Radha Shyam Sundar. So for that, you have to come to conclusion. Read elaborately Bhakti-rasam Sindhu, Bhagavatam purports, and then come to conclusion, right? In the verse, actually, Lord Shiva, the verses that I've quoted, Lord Shiva is describing 4-handed form of Krishna. But Prabhupada is so absorbed in Radha Krishna form, Radha Shyamsundar form, that he did not like. So Prabhupada says, devotees of Krishna, they don't like to meditate on, because he wrote, Shanka Chakra Gada Padma, Manimala Uttama Riddhimat. Then in the first verse, Lord Shiva says, Sujata Ruchirananam. Right? Sujata Ruchirananam means Krishna, Prabhupada says. Is Sujata Ruchirananam. And then Priti Prahasati Pangam. Lord Ramchandra's hair is, tightly bound. Lord Shingdev's hair is with blood and all. Right? Simha's hair. So Priti Prahasita Pangam means only Krishna's hair only, comes on the forehead. It's called kya? Kuntala. Hindi mein kya bolte hain? अलग अलग बोलते हैं ना, थोड़ा हेयर इधर नीचे फोरहेड के ऊपर आ जाता है, कर्ली हेयर, इट लुक्स वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. सो प्रभुपाद सेज बिकॉज दैट इज कृष्णा. देन शंख चक्र गदा पद्मा क्यों लिखा है? Because devotees of Krishna, they meditate Shankha Chakra Gada Padma on his lotus feet on the hands. They don't like 4-handed form. Anyway, so like that, we worship that Kishora Akriti who is standing on the tree and playing flute. Right? He is Asti Vastu Kishora. Right? Such Krishna we will worship. Otherwise, he is actually Tarunaruna Karunamaya Vipulayata Nayanam Kamala Kucha Kalashi Bhara Vipulikruta Pulakam Venurava Lahari Kruta Munimanasa Nalinam Mamakelatu madachetasi maduradhura amritam. Beautiful verse. You want to chant? Huh? Tarunaruna, Puliya. Tarunaruna Karunamaya Vipulayata Nayanam. Kamala Kucha Kalasi Bhara Vipuli Pulakam. Venurava Lahari Kruta Munimanasa Nalinam. Mamakelatu Madachetasi Maduradhara Amritam. Such a beautiful verse, huh? Look at the poetry. I think Krishna only must have written this poetry. Tarunaruna. When we see Krishna, when the sun is rising, we should remember Krishna's eyes. Krishna's eyes are like reddish when sun is rising. That reddishness, Tarunaruna. Taruna means sun. But those eyes are very merciful. Karunamaya. Right? Prabhupada writes, we should always meditate on Krishna looking at us with merciful glance. When you come to in front of Radharasbihari, we should think that Krishna Rasbihari is looking at me, casting his cooling glances on me. Like that we should always meditate. Karunamaya Vipulayata Nayanam. His eyes became very wide. Why? Because Kamala Kucha Kalasi Bhara Vipulikrita Pulakam. Because when he touched Kamala means Radharani's body, he became very ecstatic. Pulaka, very ecstatic. Right? Then Venurava is playing flute, Lahari Kruta, Munimanasa Nalinam. Because all these munis, they are very, very strict, hard-hearted, hard-hearted. So when these munis also, when they hear this Krishna's flute song, their hearts also will melt. Munimanasa. So the nectar that is coming from the Krishna's lips, let it play in my heart and let me become mad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. That is Krishna. So Prabhupada writes that we should simply read Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, right? Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada writes, anybody who hears and regularly reads Vaishnava literatures, such a person becomes very dear to Krishna. And then Krishna recognizes that person. Right? When you take Bhagavatam and start reading, Krishna will say, what is your name? Huh? Dheeraj. Hare, Dheeraj is reading. Anybody who keeps Bhagavatam and Ramayana and Mahabharata and Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad-gita, offers obeisances and offers a flower. Such a person will become free from all sinful reactions. Then he will become worshipped by demigods. Right? You want to be worshipped by demigods? So read Bhagavatam, right? So there are two things. One is, if you read Bhagavatam every day, such a devotee becomes very dear to Krishna and becomes recognized by Krishna. If you cannot read, if you simply offer obeisances to Bhagavatam and offer a flower, then what will happen? He will become free from sinful reactions, and so now book distribution is coming. So you tell them, You tell them. Okay, Hare Krishna. Prasad is ready? Gas is come or not? Gas आया? हाँ? Otherwise, हाँ? खिचड़ी खिला रहा था उस दिन ना? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय.
You did Chidamani, now you did two.